Top 3 hacks for calligraphy in Procreate for left-handers. So disclaimer, I am not a left-hander, I use my right hand. But I've had enough people ask me about resources for left-handers to do some digging, and I've compiled these tips that I think are going to help. Tip number 1, did you know that the Procreate interface is actually flippable? Turning the interface into left-hand mode is really simple. Just come up to your wrench icon, come to the prefs menu, and you'll see you've got right-hand interface. Toggle that to on, and you've got your tools at the right-hand side. So that makes it more convenient for left-handers. So a real common issue for people using left-handed when doing traditional calligraphy is quite often they're smudging what they've already written because the ink hasn't yet dried. You don't have this problem in digital calligraphy, which is great. But there is another problem. Usually when learning calligraphy, the example that you're using is on the left-hand side. Most guides are written like that. What you can do is do a little bit of editing in Procreate and flip it onto the other side. So in tip number 2, I'm going to show you how to take that example and put it on the other side in your Procreate worksheets. So here you can see a typical worksheet for calligraphy in Procreate with the example on the left-hand side and the traceable to the right. What is helpful is for the example to be on the right-hand side, so when using your left hand, you're not actually covering the screen. So in order to do that, we're going to come in and choose the select icon here. I'm going to make sure that the layer is selected where the instructions are, and I'm going to then just circle around the area that I want to move. I'm going to do a 3-finger swipe on the screen and choose copy, and then a 3-finger swipe again and choose paste. Now I'm going to choose my select tool. I'm going to turn on snapping at the bottom here and magnetics and snapping just to make sure that I can move it in a straight line. I'm just going to move that right across to the right. You want those slanted lines to be meeting up as well before you let it go. But I don't want 2 examples of the letter, so I'm going to cover this one. And in order to do that, I just want to come back to my layer. I want to choose the select tool. I'm going to circle 2 of these A's and make sure to get a lot of space on either side. And then going to 3-finger swipe and copy and 3-finger swipe and paste. And now using my move tool with snapping and magnetics on, I'm just going to position that to the front of the page. Now it's perfectly aligned for left-hand use. If you don't want to go through that process, I've got a free sample to my left-handed guide just in the comments below. Finally, you can just merge those layers now that you have it ready to go, and you're good to practice in left-hand mode. And tip number 3, another advantage of digital calligraphy is you can completely rotate the canvas without even moving the orientation of the iPad or your arm. If you're finding that you can't get into the flourish or you can't properly draw the letter, so just use the canvas, use that rotate and pan to your advantage. Turn the canvas in the way that best is going to allow you to enter the stroke. Digital calligraphy is so flexible, you can rotate just with the pinch of 2 fingers. So approaching strokes in a way that is better for left-handed is going to be really helpful for you. As I said, I'm not a left-hander, so I'm doing this with my right just to illustrate because I would make a mess of it if I tried with my left. But now I can just rotate and I can come into the stroke in an angle that is more comfortable. If you're left-handed, you would probably be approaching the stroke this way, so you could then draw from the top and pull into the stroke. Often a pulling motion is easier. So don't be afraid of approaching flourishes in a couple of steps if you need to, if that makes it easier for you. I hope you enjoyed these tips and they helped you today. Leave a comment below on which was your favorite. Thanks. See you next time.